Student, welcome to the news of 2. Doyinsola Ogunbadewa is my name. You can watch us live on Facebook at OGTV and Ogun State Television, on YouTube, OGTV Abeokuta, and OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For latest news and reports, you can check us on these platforms: on X, Ogun TV, on Instagram, Ogun State Television, or you download the OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. President Bola Tinubu says he postponed the scheduled trip to Peru, Ogun State, to prioritize a condolence visit to Jos Plateau State over last Sunday's attacks that left at least 27 people dead. The decision comes shortly after President Tinubu met with Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutuang at the Asirok Villa, where the governor briefed him on the security situation in the state. Also, the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Diso, has ordered the deployment of police mobile force units and other tactical teams to Plateau State. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, revealed this in a statement titled "President Tinubu postpones Ogun trip, heads to Jos as he begins 4-state visit." The President will now travel to Jos today to commiserate with the government and people of Plateau State over the recent attacks in Agwarunkuba districts of Jos North. Meanwhile, the visit of President Bola Tinubu to Peru, Ogun State on Thursday, 2nd April 2026 has been rescheduled for Saturday, 4th April 2026. A statement by the Secretary to the Ogun State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, regrets any inconveniences the change in schedule may have caused and solicits the understanding and continued cooperation of all stakeholders and members of the public. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has donated a sum of 20 million naira to the Cycling for Autism with Konye Chukwu in support of the quest to educate people of the country on autism. Governor Abiodun, who received the Cycling for Autism with Konye Chukwu's team at his office in Okemboso, Abeokuta, said that autism is not a disease but a special condition that requires a special attention. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiu reports.
Governor Dapo Abiodun received Kayetagbo Okeke, a 16-year-old Nigerian artist and autism advocate who holds the Guinness World Record for the world's largest art canvas. The team leader, Right for Autism with Kayetagbo Okeke, says the initiative is to embark on a cross-country bicycle journey to raise awareness and push a better support system for neurodiverse individuals across Nigeria. While appreciating the governor for his developmental strides across the nooks and crannies of the state, Mr. Tagbo Okeke says as a father to Kayetagbo Okeke, he deems it necessary to ensure Right for Autism becomes another opportunity to educate and enlighten everyone that children with this condition can serve purpose not only for themselves but for the society.
We started this journey this year because we found out that when God gives you a gift, sometimes that gift is not just for you alone, but it's to actually help humanity. And if you cannot help humanity, then you're not able to serve God. So we now decided to look at the situation of children living with special needs in Nigeria, children living with autism, and we realized that one of the biggest problems which they have is the lack of professional adequate caregivers to look after them.
While describing autistic children as special children, Governor Abiodun noted that it takes a lot of time and diligence to identify what autistic children are good at, as they are usually endowed a spectrum higher than most people. Governor Abiodun commended the parents of Master Kayetagbo Okeke for not allowing the autistic condition of their child to be seen as a stigma, noting that they have become a point of reference for other parents.
I'm very familiar with this condition. It is a special condition that requires special attention. And I must say that autistic children are very special children. It just takes a lot of time and diligence to identify what they are good or are best in. They are usually endowed a spectrum higher than most of us, you know, and because of that, most times we are not able to relate with them, except for some of us like you, who decided that you will do everything to use this your child's special needs to ensure that you bring out the best in him, and that is what you've done, and I want to congratulate you for that.
We also charge parents with autistic children to learn from the parents of Master Kayetagbo Okeke by assessing and identifying what their children are endowed with, specifically, so that they are not a waste to humanity.
Cycling and other sports, you know, have a way of, one, teaching focus, teaching discipline, teaching teamwork, and also it also allows for people to understand that the joy in sporting events is not only in the winning, but in taking part, because you know that only one person will cross the finish line. And you know, life itself is about teamwork. If you want to be successful in life, you have to understand what it takes to have very good interpersonal skills. And it is when you work together as a team, which sports teaches, that itself helps you understand how to be successful in life.
Governor Abiodun further acknowledged the parents of Master Kayetagbo Okeke for showing to the world that autism is not a condition that should make their children handicapped, but as a stepping ground for bringing out hidden talents of such children, as they have done for Kanye through his love for arts and sports. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Ogun State Governor Prince Tapo Abiodun has approved the appointment of Alhaji Samsudeen and Tebayo Apelogun, the Asiwaju Adini of Ogun State and Baba Adini of Ramaland, as the Amir Hajj for the 2026 pilgrimage to the Holy Land. In the same vein, the governor also approved the appointment of Sheikh Zakaria Ishaq Olongbede as the chairman of the Ogun State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board for year 2026 Hajj operation to oversee administrative and operational activities of the board. The statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, says these appointments are part of the state government's strategic preparations to ensure a smooth, well-coordinated and successful Hajj exercise for pilgrims from the state. The governor charged the Amir Hajj as the chairman to discharge their duties with diligence, integrity and high level of commitment, emphasizing the importance of effective leadership, coordination and collaboration in ensuring the comfort, safety and spiritual fulfillment of all pilgrims. The Ogun State government reaffirmed its commitment to providing necessary support and institutional structures to guarantee a hitch-free pilgrimage for all intending pilgrims from the state. The management of Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital OOUTH Shagamu has condemned in strong terms any forms of assault on its medical and healthcare personnel within the facility. It also emphasizes zero tolerance towards violence against its staff. In a statement signed by its Chief Medical Director, Dr. Oluwabumi Fatugashi, the hospital states that any individual or group found culpable in such acts will be promptly apprehended and prosecuted in accordance with the law. It further states that the safety, dignity and well-being of its healthcare workers remain a top priority, adding that they are committed daily to saving lives and providing quality care to all. It also assures the public that the affected staff member is currently receiving appropriate medical attention and support from the hospital management, calling on patients, relatives, and general public to cooperate with healthcare workers and uphold mutual respect at all times. The federal government has declared Friday 3rd and Monday 6th April 2026 as public holidays to mark this year's Easter celebration. Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulating all Christians in Nigeria and in the diaspora on the joyous occasion of Easter. Dr. Tunji-Ojo, in a statement by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Magdalena Johnny, in Abuja, urged Nigerians to imbibe the virtues of selflessness, forgiveness, forbearance, and love, as exemplified by the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. He called on Nigerians to remain committed to the values of tolerance and community that keep us together as a nation. The minister reiterated that the goal of the government remains to make decisions that would bring about national rebirth, economic growth, and shared prosperity. The Nigerian Army has announced the commencement of online registration for its 91 regular recruits intake for trades and non-tradesmen, and the size set to run from March 30th to May 17, 2026. This was disclosed in a statement by the Permanent Secretary, Bureau of Cabinet and Special Services in Ogun State, Ayo Saka. According to the statement, applicants must be single Nigerian citizen by birth and possess valid national identity number and bank verification number slip. They are also required to be medically, physically, and psychologically fit, with no criminal record, and must be between 18 and 22 years. Applicants are advised to complete their registration via the official recruitment portal free of charge at recruitment.army.military.ng, with all applications to be screened online and qualified applicants shortlisted afterwards. Shortlisted candidates will be required to participate in a physical screening exercise scheduled to take place from June 9 to June 23rd, 2026 at the State Recruitment Center, 35 Artillery Brigade, Alamala Barracks, Abeokuta. In his usual way of giving back to the society and to the people of his constituency and assuring the benefits from the dividends of democracy, lawmaker representing Abeokuta South Constituency 1 at the Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Lukman Atobatele, has again organized a free medical outreach for over 1,000 young and aged people in the area. The medical outreach targets residents and citizens of Abeokuta South local government. Taiwo Fabajo report.
The medical outreach, facilitated in conjunction with a team of medical volunteers from the United States of America, Health Foundations, among others, is the third edition of such outreach for the people of Abeokuta South local government area. Organized by the lawmaker under the Lukman Atobatele Development Foundation, attracted old and young residents of the local government to Ake Palace venue of the free medical screening. The free medical screening also comes with surgical treatment for people with minor health issues like hernia, cataract, and breast lump removal, with 30 minor operations carried out on the first day. For general treatment, people with hypertension, diabetes, dental, eye, and outpatient issues were administered by medical experts.
Those in the eye are giving out glasses if they need it, and those that have prescriptions, the prescriptions are being filled also here. We come to give back. We don't ask anybody for a dime, not even one dime, and none of us are being paid for this. But because of the love that we have for our brothers and sisters.
Beneficiaries and observers thank Honorable Atobatele and the team of doctors for the continuous support to the people of the constituency. I thank the sponsor for the initiative and I pray that God will bless him.
I came to check my eyes. I thank him for the gesture. He has done this before and we thank him for this continuous effort.
So this initiative must not die and must not be based on any bias or anything which is ongoing on here. No bias. I saw Muslims, Christians, far and near from Yewa, Ijebu, Abeokuta, and all sorts that are coming here.
The organizer says the initiative is to ensure the good health and well-being of his people.
People keep calling on a daily basis, Honorable, we need this, Honorable, I need this. Genuine calls, genuine requests. And what is the problem? They have medical, they have health challenges, and they don't have money to assess it. That's why we even enrolled over 150 people on health insurance, the state health insurance scheme, and I know that will not even solve it, but it will reduce it a little bit. And that's also on a yearly basis, I promise I'll keep doing this. Whatever it takes to do, I'll do it.
The 2-day free medical and surgical outreach continues with many residents still being expected. Taiwo Fabajo, OGTV News.
Nigeria's oil reserves recorded a marginal decline in 2026. Oil gas resources expanded, reflecting a gradual shift in the country's hydrocarbon profile amid sustained production and discoveries. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission discussed this in Abuja, releasing the nation's official petroleum reserves position as of January 1st, 2026. In a statement signed by its Chief Executive, Orishemeyiwa Eyesan, the Commission said Nigeria's total oil and condensate reserves stood at 37.01 billion barrels, while total gas reserves rose to 215.19 trillion cubic feet. The Commission added that Nigeria's reserves life index stood at 59 years for oil and 85 years for gas, indicating the estimated duration the resources would last at current production level. On the foreign scene, Iran has threatened crushing attacks on the U.S. and Israel, firing missiles at Tel Aviv after U.S. President Donald Trump vowed to bomb the Islamic Republic back to the Stone Ages. The war, which erupted more than a month ago with U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran, has spread throughout the Middle East and roiled the global economy, impacting hundreds of millions worldwide. In a prime-time White House address, Trump said the U.S. was very close to achieving its objectives, but warned attacks would intensify if Iran did not reach a negotiated settlement. The Iranian military command center, Qatam al-Bayya, warns the U.S. and Israel to expect more crushing, broader, and more destructive actions. And from the world of sport, Liverpool striker Alexander Isak has returned to full-time training this week following a long injury layoff, raising hopes that he could feature in the squad for upcoming high-profile matches. The 26-year-old had been sidelined since December after suffering a fractured fibula and ankle injury, as reported by Fabrizio Romano on X. Alexander Isak returns in team training with the Liverpool squad this week after a long injury. He is expected to be called up this weekend and then against PSG. Isak has been gradually working his way back to full fitness, and his return to group sessions under Ancelotti marks a significant milestone in his recovery. That will be all on the news at 2, but before I go, don't forget that success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Thank you for watching the OGTV News at 2. Join us for the comprehensive part.